50 things that you can make in Minecraft. There seems to be a lot of people returning back to Minecraft after a few years away, and sometimes it can be difficult to know what to build. So I thought I would produce this video where I run through a variety of all sorts of different things that should hopefully satisfy all different types of players, from the slightly more technical people through to the detailed orientated people. Now if all goes to plan, and without counting the time spent to gather resources, each one of these things that I showcase should only take around about 5 to 10 minutes to construct for yourselves. I would know I built all of them by hand over the space of 2 days. So, there's plenty of content to cover in today's video. I think that's all I need to talk about beforehand, so let's begin. Storage silos. Incredibly popular with anyone who likes to hoard large quantities of items. You put the items in the chest up at the top, they fill into the chests down below, and you also have some nice redstone lamps which show how filled all of the chests are. And on the scale of 1 to 10, in terms of redstone difficulty, they're like a 3. They're really, really easy. They're expensive, very expensive, hoppers, comparators, all that. They're definitely not cheap builds. But in terms of, I mean, look at this thing. Look, there's even a hole down the middle. You know a redstone contraption's easy if there's a hole going down through the middle. Toggleable fireplaces. Fireplaces are great, but right now it's the summer. Currently it is absolutely boiling in my office. I would not want a fireplace running at all times. So if we flick this lever right here, you can see that our fireplace gets switched off. But then when it comes into the evening, you know, it would be nice to chill out next to the fire. So we flick the lever again, and it all activates. An added bonus of this is, of course, we actually have smoke coming out the top of our chimney, and an even bigger added bonus is, once again, easy. 2 out of 10. The Deadly Diver. Seems like a pretty good name for what I'm about to show you here. Now, this is an old school trick from probably back in 2012. If we just pop ourselves into survival and jump through this lava, we go straight through into water and then drop down into a base. It still feels wrong, even though I know there's water underneath the lava. Jumping into lava, it goes against every bone in my body. Boat dock. A few years ago, Minecraft boats got a bit of a refresh, and they went from being totally useless to actually being really quite good. So I thought I'd create this docking station. We chuck our boat down there. If we break the boat, it will just drop through into some hoppers, and then next time we need a boat, we can just hit this button right here, and we get a fresh one delivered. And by fresh one, I mean the same boat gets redispensed out onto the water. I don't have 2 boats, I'm not that rich. The Bouncy Bass. On a list of satisfying redstone contraptions, I would say this one would score fairly highly. We walk off the edge of the cliff, we bounce on the slime block, and we enter a hidden base. Now, the hidden base isn't the biggest thing in the world. It's really quite small. We've got a bed and we have a barrel. That's all you need, isn't it, really? But if we hit this button right here, that will open everything up again, and we can jump off, landing on our slime block so that we don't take any damage. Now, before we move on to the next thing, can we all just take a moment to appreciate my man-made, very natural-looking cliff? This looks like it's been pulled from the Minecraft terrain. Disco dance floor. I am not exactly the best dancer in the world. I mean, I've got one move, and that is this. But this disco dance floor is kind of making up for it, because everything looks cooler when it's on a disco dance floor, complete with DJ decks, and also, yeah, they're meant to be speakers, okay, just, yeah, I mean, that's as good as I could get. Redstone wise, this thing is actually way simpler than you would expect. It's just, well, there's not much of a way of me showing it. This seems like a better option. All we've got is lines of observers connected up into a redstone clock. Lovely stuff. The map room. Everyone knows that map rooms in Minecraft are really cool, but one thing that I like to do with them is show progress. So this was the world when I first generated it, and this is my fresh map. Oh, all of this back here is off the map. Not exactly the effect that I was looking for, but, you know, you get the picture. Stack shooters. Now, you can use these with any item, but I personally think it works best with food. Everyone knows that going into a chest is a little bit on the boring side. This is way more exciting. And look at that. Exactly 1 stack delivered to my inventory within about 3 seconds. Redstone wise, it's a tiny bit more complicated than some of the things that I featured earlier on in the video, but still, it's nothing too crazy. Rubbish bins. Sometimes your inventory will fill up with junk. I'm terrible at managing my inventory. It's always full of rubbish, so you need to have somewhere to put all of that, and a rubbish bin is a good way to go. So you just dump all of your junk in there, and it will be dropped out into lava, so it can be disposed of effectively and ethically. Fancy infinite water. Everyone knows that those old infinite water sources, you know, where you've got like a puddle in your room, they're very 2012. These days, we're using systems that look like this. If we grab ourselves a bucket of water, the water will be replenished by the system. I gotta say, I'm really proud of this. I actually spent quite a long time developing this redstone circuit, and I like it a lot. I mean, sure, there's quite a lot of redstone involved for something so unnecessary, but sometimes the best builds are like that. First row has been knocked down, and this feels like a good time to mention that the world download for this can be found down in the description, so if you want to build any of the things featured, then you should check out that link. Street lamps. Let's face it, landscapes covered with torches often look terrible. One of the best aesthetic options is to go for street lamps, and you can make them toggleable just by using inverted daylight sensors on top. Another detail that I quite like is the use of the trapdoors, which, believe it or not, don't actually get powered by the daylight sensor. Mini super smelter. For anyone who's watched any of my videos before, you'll know that I'm a big fan of super smelters, and a super smelter that someone can build within 5 minutes is definitely something worth checking out. This is a double furnace system, so it's twice as fast as your average furnace, and all you do is put all of the things you want to smelt in this chest, all of your fuel in this chest, and then all of your output will come out the bottom. There is no excuse for not building one of these. Glowing trees. The street lamps are pretty cool, but one thing that I personally like doing in slightly more forested areas is putting in lights on the inside of the trees. That way, when it gets dark, your trees light up like this. Now, with a massive forest, it looks absolutely beautiful. But just as a quick warning, forests are bigger than you think, so it's going to end up being expensive putting redstone lamps and daylight sensors into every single one of the trees. Okay, I know that from prior experience. A trophy cabinet. This is something that I always mean to do when I first start up a Minecraft survival world, but it's something that I always forget to do, so hopefully this acts as a good reminder. A trophy cabinet is filled with memories from your survival Minecraft world. So for example, this was the first block that was broken, this is the first diamond pickaxe, this is my first set of armor, my first piece of redstone dust that I mined, and it doesn't have to be first, it can also be funny memories, like for example, a piston that got exploded in a redstone contraption gone wrong. Gradually, throughout your experience in the Minecraft survival world that you're playing in, you will add more and more to this trophy cabinet, and then when you come to the end of playing on that world, you can look back through and reminisce over all the fun times that you've had. A diary room. This is in a similar vein to the trophy cabinet, but for those of you who really enjoy writing, you can actually write a diary, and this is made even better with the new lecterns that were introduced in Minecraft 1.14. For example, June the 28th, I came up with 50 things to build, then built those 50 things in one world, in one day. I'm tired now. That's actually a bit of a lie, because it ended up taking 2 days. And I was already tired by this point, so think how knackered I was by the time I got over there. The armory. Having somewhere to put all of your equipment for fighting not only looks really cool when it's in your base, but it also serves a pretty good purpose, because you can gain quick access to it when people are attacking. One extra thing that you can't not include in a place like this is of course the good old-fashioned armor equipping station. Currently naked, hit the button, fully loaded. A miniature golf course. So here is the little miniature golf course. Here are the golf balls, and we need to try our best to get them from this orange block right here into that hole over there. Now I have to admit, I have been practicing this a tiny bit. So I throw it down, and then piston. Oh my word! We almost didn't quite make it, but we got there in the end. Hole in one. TNT bomb zone. The only thing that we can't actually showcase in this world because, well, I mean, yeah, clues in the name. Sometimes it's fun to just dig big holes in Minecraft, and sometimes it's fun to just blow things up in Minecraft. So if you can do both at the same time, for free, making use of TNT duplicators, then what on earth are you doing? Why aren't you doing this? I mean, check it out. And of course you can do it on a larger scale, using more and more of these. You can get flying machines involved. I mean, you can go quite far with this. Enchanting room. Making a nice looking enchanting room is definitely a fun project to work on, and it's often made easier by the fact that bookshelves are actually really quite pretty blocks, so you can use those to your advantage. One thing that I like having in my enchanting rooms though is a supply of lapis, because yeah, I'm one of those guys that I will always turn up to enchant things without bringing any of the stuff that I now need, because I've been playing this game for a long time. We didn't used to need lapis. The suicide booth. If you play on a Minecraft server like I do, and you have friends like the ones that I have, and you AFK as often as I do, you've probably ended up with a few silly hats in your time. That's where the suicide booth comes in handy. Just hit the button, walk inside, hit this button, and get killed by lots and lots of minecarts. Now the beauty of using lots and lots of minecarts as opposed to other things like lava is that if you accidentally walk into the suicide booth forgetting that you're wearing armor or have things in your inventory, then they're not going to be lost and you can pick up everything. Just Don't put this back on. Hands-free minecart railway. Placing minecarts, hitting buttons, all that sort of nonsense. That is not for the sort of Minecraft player that you are. Just walk up, stand on the pressure plate, hop in your minecart, and you are away, ready to do whatever it is that you need to do. Redstone-wise, it's nowhere near as complicated as you may think. I'd put it at about a 3 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. The shower. Although it's not an official feature, and I've never heard anyone mention it or say anything negative to me, I do occasionally get paranoid that my Minecraft character is a little bit smelly. So to stay on top of things, I like to have the occasional shower, and this system seems to work pretty well for it. Flick the lever, and we have got water pouring down, and then when we want to get out, just flick the lever again, everything shuts off, and we can leave smelling fresh. The toilet. Once again, not an official feature, but I do occasionally get paranoid that my Minecraft player is getting a little bit backed up down there, so occasionally I like to release the load a little bit by dropping it into the toilet, and then we hit the button, and it gets flushed away. We also have some extra toilet paper, just in case it's a messy one. I mean, just to make it clear, you should wipe every time, okay, just in case anyone thinks that I only... Yeah, okay, moving on. Hot tub. Check out this little area here. This is my sort of spot. So we've got a sun lounger so we can soak in the rays, and then also we have this jacuzzi that we can toggle on or off by moving the blocks around. So there it is. And check it out. These, wow, I might have turned it up a little bit too high. This seems quite extreme if it's shooting me out of the water like that. Look at this. I would spend a lot more time in jacuzzis if they were like that in real life. Rock, paper, scissors. Normally you play rock, paper, scissors with your friends, but I don't have many of those, so I've created a redstone contraption that can play rock, paper, scissors with me. I'm choosing paper. Oh, well, even the computer hates me. This is one of the slightly more complicated redstone contraptions in today's video, but still, it's nothing too crazy, consisting of a pulse extender, a redstone clock, and then something to extend these top pistons. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10 in complexity. Chests behind a wall. Chests look cool in most Minecraft builds, but in some super sleek modern ones, you kind of don't want them lying around. You want to conceal them in areas a little bit like this. So the slime blocks pull the blocks out of the way. You can gain access to everything on the inside of here, including blast furnaces and smokers and things like that. And then once we're done, we just step off the pressure plates and everything gets hidden away. I like these things a lot. Bench swappers. As I'm sure you're all aware, in Minecraft 1.14, all sorts of new crafting benches were introduced into the game, so we need to be able to have access to them. And I think this is by far the coolest way that you can access all of your different types of crafting benches. I mean, check this out. Target practice. I am terrible with a bow and arrow. I'm far more likely to kill myself with it than I am to kill anything else, so occasionally I need to get some practice. So I missed that one. I missed that one too. Oh my word, I'm really bad at this. Somehow that was a hit. I mean, I feel like there's some hitbox action at play here too. That's it, yeah. When in doubt, just blame the hitboxes. Horse sorter. Ah, it seems that my horse has actually been replaced by a cow. Okay, give me a second. That's a little bit more like it. So the idea of this system is it allows you to work out quite how high your horse can jump. Okay, this horse is actually pretty good, and he's actually quite fast too. And of course, if you really wanted to get technical, you could test that too, making use of tripwires and some redstone bits. The Outpost. For those of you who enjoy adventuring in Minecraft, this one's for you. When you're traveling long distances and you have somewhere that you frequent, it might be smart to get yourself up with a little micro base. A bed, a furnace, a few barrels of items, a few chests, a lot of the things that you frequently need, a campfire, and one thing that I personally really like is this little compass directional thing. I don't know what you'd call it, but I like the idea of it. Connect 4. For anyone who hasn't played this before, it's very simple. One person is red, the other person is blue, and the goal is to get 4 in a row, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. So that is player 1, and player 2 drops their one in, and then the other one counters, and you kind of go back and forth like that. It's a very simple game, but it's super addictive. Repairing and disenchanting zone. With the new grindstones that were introduced in Minecraft 1.14, it might be good to create a dedicated area where you put all of this stuff. And of course, in this room, you're going to have an Anvil Replacement system, simply because they're so easy to construct and they're really quite fun to use. I mean, look at this, okay? What is your excuse to not build this? Right, it's 2 redstone torches, a piece of redstone dust, and the repeaters running into it, that's just from the button. They're not even counting. Diamond vault. Having a secure place to keep all your diamonds is always a smart move, and this system is a really simple way of doing it. Here we have a dropper. We put in our secret key card with our secret code on the secret key card on the inside of it. We hit the button, and that will give us access to... Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not doing so well at the minute, okay? And you shouldn't judge me for that either. A hedge maze. These things are really easy to construct, look very cool, and they're fun for other players to take on. I've also added in a redstone timer just to make things a little bit more interesting. So we flick this lever right here, and we go. Now this little hedge maze that fits within the 7x7 area that I've provided it is quite easy. I've managed to complete it within 14 sand blocks, but slightly more complicated designs obviously make things a little bit trickier. A crawling base. Minecraft 1.14 introduced the ability to have 1 block high crawl spaces. And that means that you can create 1 block high bases. I've had some fun with this in the past, I know a few other people have as well, and there is something quite satisfying about making a tiny little cubby hole in an area. If you can get creative with it, you can do something really special with this game mechanic. Aquariums. I think we can all agree that watching fish is one of those things that's oddly satisfying, both in real life and also in Minecraft. Big or small, an aquarium is always a cool addition to your build and will just bring a little bit of life to it. And for those of you who like redstone, there's plenty of interesting things that you can do there. You can have opening chests with bubbles that shoot out of them, you can have divers masks that light up, all sorts of different things. Elytra flight course. I've built a bunch of these in my time, and I think I've worked out the best way to do it. Make use of walls just because they look nice, and then use item frames with stairs on the inside to show the player where they go next, because if you have a friend on the world who's trying their best to go through it, they're going to get lost really quite quickly, so show them what direction you actually want them to go in. Oh, and of course get yourself set up with a timer. All of this is 10 times more fun when there's competitiveness going on. A wishing well. This is definitely something that I would suggest for people playing on large Minecraft servers, because if you build one, there will at least be a handful of people that will give it a go. They'll throw in their hard-earned diamonds and get nothing for it, just like every other wishing well on Earth. If you can't tell, yes, I invested a lot of my pocket money into wishing wells when I was a kid, okay, and I'm still a bit bitter. The potion brewing room. They're kind of the perfect project for all different types of Minecrafters, from their incredible decorative builders who can create ridiculously beautiful potion brewing rooms, all the way through to the really technical Minecraft players who want to get as many potions as possible in as short a time as possible. For me personally, these little potion brewing stations strike a pretty good balance between redstone complexity and efficiency. A basketball court. Sometimes you just want to shoot some hoops. I'm from England, so that's the first time I've ever said that. We don't really play basketball in England, but it seems like it would be a fun game, and it's quite a fun game to play in Minecraft. If we just run over this slime block, we get launched upwards, and that was a swish, a swoosh, I think it's a swish. I think I just got a swish. Chest display unit. Protecting your items has never looked so cool. I'm a massive fan of this, and the way that we gain access to these chests is by spinning these item frames. So both of these arrows need to be pointed down towards the corners. But if we're talking just from the numbers, there's 8 possible combinations for this one, 8 for this one. That means we've got 64 possible combinations in total, meaning that your chests are actually decently secure. And although the redstone behind it looks a tiny bit complicated, it's actually really easy to build. I'd say in this redstone scale that I've just invented for today's video, it's like a 5 out of 10. Riptide Launch Pad. If you're one of the lucky few people that not only has an Elytra but also has a Riptide 3 Trident, then you're going to want to construct one of these. A system that gives you a little pocket of water that allows you to launch yourself up into the sky and then fly off. These things are so incredibly simple but also so incredibly useful, especially for those of you who play on Minecraft servers where you don't exactly have the best connection to them, because it can be difficult to take off from the ground. An art gallery. Sometimes you have to let out your pretentious side, and this dimly lit room is the perfect place to do it. Here we have Sunset Post by Giovanni Gioni, here we have Long Schnoz by Wilbert Wickett, and here we have 68 Degree Leg by Alfred Alfreds. Yeah, I'd say that's probably about 68 degrees. I'd say it's about right there. So this is just my example. I would be very interested to see the sort of artworks that you guys can create. An ender station. For anyone who's been watching me for some time, you'll recognize that set of words because I love them. I don't know why I love them so much, but I think they're just nice little details to add into your base. Ender stations give you exactly 16 ender pearls at the press of a button, and this system looks really nice. I quite like the design of this area here, and taking a look around the back, redstone wise, once again, super ridiculously simple, just moving observers around. Water blade. If you need to get down from a high place in the coolest way possible, look no further than this redstone contraption. We hit the button and you gradually just drop through the air in a blade of water. I love these things. I've always loved these things. I think they're fantastic. They're definitely not the fastest way to get down, especially if you do something like that. But they look so cool. A vending machine. If you play on a Minecraft server and want something slightly cooler than your average shop, then a vending machine is definitely the way to go. So here it's requesting 1 diamond for an emerald. So if we put our diamond on the inside of the dropper, hit the button, you can see that our diamond gets taken and our emerald is passed out to us in vending machine style. Now taking a look around the back, another one that is so crazily simple. I mean, seriously, I expect to see all of the builds featured in this video in your world, because none of them would take long. Spleef Arena. That's a set of words that I haven't heard for a while. When I first started playing Minecraft, I used to do Spleef tournaments with my friends all of the time, and you can do them really quite well in Survivor Minecraft. Get yourself an Efficiency 5 pickaxe, get yourself a Haste 2 beacon, and use a smooth stone generator. So you go through, you take out all of the area, and then once you've finished your tournament, all you have to do is head over here and flick this lever, and your arena will be reconstructed. So you're ready to go again. I think it goes without saying that the actual arena would have to be bigger than this, otherwise your Spleef tournaments aren't going to last for very long. A marketplace. If the vending machine is a little bit 21st century for you, then you might be better off with something like this. Constructing an old style marketplace is a really fun project to work on, especially if you're into medieval style builds. And the best news is that it does have a function if you're playing on a Minecraft server, in that you can turn these market stalls into actual shops. The pretty but loud fountain. This thing is fantastic as long as you're not too close to it. As soon as you're up close and you can hear all the arrows and the slime blocks moving, it kind of ruins the effect. But if you're far away, it looks brilliant. It really does look cool. I'm taking inspiration from Scar on this one, because he's the first person I saw using this concept, and it is by far the best way to make a fountain in Minecraft. Anyway, we finally made it. The final design. And I am really excited to see what this one is. I'm done.